On the last exciting episode of AxoniusRex, we followed the story of a female Saiyan training with her father Broly after being resurrected by Vados to fight for Universe 6 in the Tournament of Power. These two clashing legendary Super Saiyans send shockwaves throughout the air around them until their training is interrupted by Clone Gohan and Clone Frieza. They entered a violent 2-on-2 death battle against two incredibly powerful clone foes. The joy of the battle and the thrill of the hunt forces both of them to new heights, pushing the limits of their Berserker Super Saiyan powers. Every moment, every strike, every impact, fueling their burning love for the fight, boiling their blood even further. The female Saiyan used an opportunity to take away Broly's fight and fight off against adult Gohan's clone. She was finally able to fulfill her ambition of fighting off against Gohan after being impressed by seeing him demolish Cell in the Cell games as a teenager. The battle raged on and both of them kept having the time of their lives until Broly dispatched of Clone Frieza. They teamed up against Clone Gohan 2-on-1 and just devastated him without competition. Finishing the job with two combined ultimate attacks, they destroyed the clone once and for all. Broly flew up after sensing a stronger ki and the female Saiyan dropped down to tell the Supreme Kai of time, but KonTon City was eerily quiet. Back in KonTon City, Deborah and Few put their dastardly plan into motion. 8 of the most powerful supervillains drop down in a massive ring around KonTon City. They begin charging their supervillain power. Jiren, Fusamasu, Broly, Omega Shenron, Kid Buu, Janemba, Golden Frieza, and Perfect Cell. Unleashing all of their pent-up supervillain energy resurrects the demon Hirudegon. The supervillains scatter around KonTon City in preparation for the heroes returning from various battles. Now the real fight begins. Our female Saiyan drops down into KonTon City in preparation for her fight. Supervillain Broly spots her green ki from a mile away and gets ready for an interesting battle. Wasting no time, they get straight into the fight. After training with the real Broly, her father, for so long, she's able to read his movements, but still the strength of this supervillain is ridiculous and pushes her to her limits. As the battle continues, she feels a growing sense of power bubbling up from within, exploding outwards as the battle rages on. Her legendary Super Saiyan ki is just overflowing and is ready for an intense fight. Across KonTon City, the male human is fighting off against supervillain Omega Shenron, who gets ready with a minus energy powerball. He dodges the attack and it flies towards the female Saiyan just as Broly drops in to block it and save her from getting destroyed. Broly charges in to destroy the one who almost killed his daughter. Not wanting to fight Broly again, the male human disappears and leaves him to fight Omega Shenron. Now it's time for Broly to put his strength to the test. The female Saiyan fights off against supervillain Broly. Both of their battles sending massive shockwaves throughout KonTon City. This titanic clash of immense power is one of the most devastatingly destructive battles ever seen in KonTon City. As the battle rages on, it ups its intensity even more. This post-training Broly against an amped-up supervillain Omega Shenron seem to be evenly matched in every way. Their strength, speed, toughness, endurance are all matched evenly, and they seem to be trading blows one after the other. And again, just like before, the battle ramps up in even more intensity as all 4 fighters output more of their devastatingly destructive ki. This legendary father-daughter combo against these two ridiculously strong supervillains is a sight to behold as KonTon City is lit up by a flurry of exploding ki blasts. And just like that, in a coordinated effort, both of them catch the two supervillains off guard and set them up to be destroyed. Wasting no time and working together in harmony, they destroy supervillain Broly with a gigantic meteor and teleport down and do the same thing to Omega Shenron. As father and daughter, their foes have been destroyed. Broly charges up his ki and senses an even stronger enemy above them. Few is watching the battle unfold. Broly charges to him, but he disappears without a trace. Reappearing moments later, he flies off in the opposite direction away from KonTon City. The female Saiyan and Broly charge after him in hot pursuit. Finally, they catch up to Few. Unfortunately, it was all a diversion and he disappears without a trace. Meanwhile, a little earlier in KonTon City, Tapion has dropped down and started lending aid to the other Z-Warriors fighting off against Hirudegarn with his ocarina. Krillin puts everything he has into a Ki Blast to try and stop Hirudegarn, but gets blasted away effortlessly. As he's falling to the ground below, 18 drops down to help out her husband and she enters the fight. Throwing down 2 Ki Blasts, she as well is taken out without effort and obliterated by Hirudegarn. As Tapion is deep in concentration trying to play his ocarina, he gets taken out by a flying rock. Now it's time for Tapion to enter this battle. But it's of no use. Trunks enters the fight to try and help out and stop Hirudegarn. Using his sword to try and slash him to pieces is of no use and he's crushed and sent hurling across the city. Tapion gets back in the fight using all of his bravery to try and stop this monster from hurting more people. Dashing with his sword, he gets blasted in the face by a beam and sent hurling across KonTon City. Just at that moment, Fusamasu is about to take out a downed female human. Our hero is in dire straits and about to get obliterated, but Tapion will not have this happen. He flies over to lend aid and blocks the move at the very last moment. Seems Hirudegarn will have to wait. Meanwhile, across KonTon City, Trunks is putting everything he has into Ki Blast to try and stop this monster. He tries one last final all-out attack, but Hirudegarn is too quick and jumps out the way, and devastates him with a huge beam to the back. There is no one left to stop this monster. Across KonTon City, the female human and Tapion are finishing off Fusamasu with a barrage of Ki Blasts, followed by an almighty slash that cuts Fusamasu down where he stands. Now that she is okay, he rejoins the fight against Hirudegarn. Tapion is all on his own. He is no match whatsoever for Hirudegarn without the aid of other Z-Warriors, but still he presses on. Tapion's bravery is unmatched and he puts everything on the line to try and stop this monster. Fighting to the point of exhaustion, he still pushes his body until it can move no more. Things are looking bad for our heroes. Across KonTon City, Hercule gets the attention of Hirudegarn and lures him away from the other downed fighters. The female Margin and Majin Buu are ready to spring their counterattack. Cooler, the Frieza race character, male Saiyan, Vegeta, the male Margin and female human rush in at the same time just as this counterattack is about to take hold. The female Margin and Majin Buu force Hirudegarn onto the floor. Now the counterattack can begin. All of them combining all of their energy together, throwing down supernovas and super kamehamehas, charging up super Gallic guns and firing them in unison into Hirudegarn to weaken his defenses. They set him up to be finished by one last final ultimate attack. The female human takes Tapion's sword and converts it to the Sword of Hope, plunging it deep within Hirudegarn, cutting him down where he stands. And like that, the battle seemed over. Zeno's guards and Zeno himself beam down into KonTon City. With a single wave of his finger, he erases Hirudegarn on the spot, and also Deborah at the top of the Dragonball altar. Zeno sets KonTon City back to the way it was before the demon Hirudegarn's resurrection, and beams down into the center of the city to tell everyone why he has come. The waiting is finally over, the anticipation, all of the training is about to culminate in one massive multiversal competition. They are about to enter the Tournament of Power. Let's take a look at the stat points. First, for the QQ Bang, it gives 5 in key stamina and basic attack. You can make this by combining Super Saiyan 4 Goku's clothing with Bardock's. The Super Assault is GAH! Which dramatically decreases the amount of time your stamina broken, and the Limit Burst gives you auto health, stamina recovery at the cost of your defense. Now for the attribute points, 125 will go into your Ki Blast supers for maximum damage, 84 will go into your stamina for 2 extra bars, 42 into your Ki for 1 extra bar, and the rest you will dump into your basic attack. Now let's go over partner customization. You'll be using Broly as your partner with Combo Type C for a massive amount of health, attack and stamina. The moves you will use are Gigantic Omega, Blaster Shell, Gigantic Slammer, Maximum Charge, and your ultimates will be Gigantic Meteor and Dual Gigantic Meteor, with the evasive being Blast Meteor. His Super Soul is also yeah, which dramatically decreases the amount of time his stamina broken, and Limp Burst gives him auto health and stamina recovery at the cost of his defense. Now let's look at the super moves. Starting things off, she has Maximum Charge to recover her ki as quickly as possible. Next, she has Blaster Ball, a move that can exhaust your entire ki bar, which fires progressively faster and more ki balls as you keep pressing the button. This does a ridiculous amount of damage, and after a stamina break can easily devastate someone in one move. Next is Gigantic Charge, a move that you can use while being attacked to use your stamina and use it as a kind of evasive, or you can charge it up and for the maximum charge time it will stamina break the enemy once it hits them. Next is Psycho Barrier, a move that you can keep pressing the input for to extend the duration and size of your energy shield. You can use this to push away attackers or prevent weak ki blasts from hitting you, but it doesn't work against ultimates. Your Awoken skill will be Super Vegeta for a massive boost to your ki blast supers and increase your defense. Your first ultimate is Gigantic Roar, a 5 ki bar move with a ridiculously large area of effect that can hit multiple enemies that only hits once but does a ridiculous amount of damage. Your second ultimate is Dual Gigantic Meteor, and you will need Broly as your partner to be able to do this move, or a CAC with this move attached as well, to fire a Dual Gigantic Meteor to destroy the enemy. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but once it hits it never misses, and it's very, very satisfying to hit it, especially if you win with this move. And finally, your evasive is Energy Field. Put up a barrier you can extend the duration of with more ki to push away all attackers and every single attack coming your way. Now it's time for the damage test! Blaster Ball, if you only press it once, will do 2061 damage. However, if you manage to completely max out your ki bar and spam the hell out of this move and get every single one of the attacks to hit, will do a ridiculous 16,009 damage. Gigantic Charge, when done as quickly as possible, will do 1,959 damage. However, if you fully charge the move, it will stamina break them, doing 3,265 damage. Psycho Barrier, hitting them 4 times, will do 1,594 damage. Gigantic Roar will do a ridiculous 10,151 damage in one hit. Next, going on to combos, your full light combo chain will do a very, very nice 4,647 damage. Your full heavy combo chain will also do a very nice 4,241 damage. Your full mixed combo chain will do a very nice 4,515 damage. Here is the first super damage combo we're going to be calling the Battered Sausage, which utilizes a rush-in stamina rate combination followed by a heavy combo chain and a gigantic roar that will do a very nice 17,809 damage. Here is the next super damage combo we're going to be calling the Death by Super Crazy Balls, utilizing an extended stamina rate combination followed by a heavy then mostly light combination straight into a Blaster Ball that will annihilate the enemy and exhaust your ki bar, doing a very ridiculous, deathly 25,446 damage. Here is the final super damage combo we're going to be calling the Hear Me Roar, which utilizes a rush in extended mixed stamina break combination straight into a gigantic roar that will finish the enemy, doing 17,266 damage. This has been my character build for my level 99 Broly themed female Saiyan character. Balance has been restored to KonTon City, and the Tournament of Power is impending. Who will be saved and who will be erased? Find out on the next exciting episode of AxoniusRex.